Good morning. Welcome back to the Red Mic. Happy Wednesday, hump day. Glad you're here. Today's Red Mic message is the fear of the stallion. Now, over the course of a career, you're going to notice some strange leadership behaviors. Here's one that shows up in offices and organizations, sometimes even on teams that should know better. Somebody on your team is clearly capable. They're smart, they're productive, they're reliable. But instead of being trusted with more responsibility, they get benched or sometimes they even get cut off the team. Not because they did anything wrong, not because they aren't capable, but because, honestly, in my opinion, somebody above them is uncomfortable with how capable they are. Now, I've seen this more than once in my career, and a friend of mine is dealing with it right now. Thankfully, she told me she's gotten a job interview lined up. So hopefully she's able to go someplace where they actually recognize and reward her abilities. Right now, her boss has her doing work that is either far below her potential or, in my opinion, worse, something completely outside her expertise. And then when the results aren't perfect, she gets criticized for the shortcomings. And it's a really weird management technique. If you think about it, you take your most capable people, you put them in a situation where they can't really succeed, and then you blame them if the outcome isn't great. I had a boss who asked me to put together a communications plan, and then I did and never heard a whisper about it again. I mean, just gone. I just don't get it. Leaving talent on the bench, especially if your team is struggling, you got to wonder why. And there doesn't seem to be a good reason for it. But there is a name for this phenomena. It's called talent hoarding. Sometimes it happens because a manager wants to control everything. They want to be that puppet master. Sometimes it happens because a so called leader is afraid of losing their best person to another team, another outfit, whatever it is. And sometimes, if we're honest, it happens because a high performer can make an insecure leader uncomfortable. So instead of developing the talent, they contain it. Instead of trusting the player, they keep them on the bench. There's a good example from pro football. If you think about what happened in New England when Tom Brady first showed up, now people didn't really know that Tom Brady was Tom Brady. I mean, he was a sixth-round draft pick. Nobody expected much. And there was a good starter, Drew Bledsoe, franchise quarterback, massive contract, Pro Bowl resume. But when he got hurt, Brady stepped in and he played really, really well. So when Bledsoe came back, the easy leadership decision would have been to go back to the established star. And that's what most organizations would do. They protect the hierarchy, they protect the resume, they protect the safe choice. But Belichick made a different call. He stayed with the young quarterback, the gunslinger who was playing great football. It was controversial, it was uncomfortable. I mean, history tells you that as a starter, you don't lose your starting position because of an injury. Belichick upset the existing order. He did not stable his stallion. He let him run. And the result was one of the greatest dynasties, honestly, in the history of sports. The 2009 movie Star Trek, there's a similar situation. McCoy is challenging Spock about sending Kirk away instead of using him. And McCoy says, back home we have a saying, if you're going to ride in the Kentucky Derby, you don't leave your prize stallion in the stable. Now, maybe it was Vulcan logic, maybe it was a little bit of illogical pride, but he says a stallion must first be broken before it can reach its potential. And he's not wrong because discipline matters, training matters, structure matters. But McCoy's response flipped all that on its ear. He said, you could at least act like it was a hard decision. McCoy and Spock were demonstrating that leadership is a balance: order and instinct, structure and opportunity, preparation and trust. The problem is not discipline. The problem is when leaders never open the gate. Great leaders, well, they don't fear talent. They recognize it, they refine it, and when the moment comes, They let that stallion run. And that's today's Red Mike message. I hope you found it interesting or helpful. I hope you're able to put some of these things in place in your own life, your own organization, your own leadership styles. Believe it or not, this weekend marks the 2-year anniversary of doing Red Mike messages. Very first one, I did it outside on my back deck during COVID. Um, well, I guess COVID was over technically, but I still had work from home. And it didn't have a whole lot of structure. In fact, when I first did that first one, I didn't really even know that I was planning on doing this every day for any period of time, much less 2 years. Friday is going to be a sort of look back on some of the recurring themes and tones and whatnot that Red Mike Messages has looked at over the past 2 years. And if you've been with me from the beginning, thank you. If you're a recent addition, thank you too. I'll see you again tomorrow. Don't forget, as always, life is short. Drink the bourbon. I'll see you.